service. I've earned every cent. And in all of my years of public life, I have never obstructed justice. And I think, too, that I can say that in my years of public life, that I welcome this kind of examination, because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got. President, Carrier. And I want to say this to the television audience. I made my mistakes. But in all of my years of public life, I have never profited from public service. I've earned every cent. And in all of my years of public life, I have never obstructed justice. And I think, too, that I can say that in my years of public life, that I welcome this kind of examination, because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got. President, Carrier. And I want to say this to the television audience. I made my mistakes. But in all of my years of public life, I have never profited from public service. I've earned every cent. And in all of my years of public life, I have never obstructed justice. And I think, too, that I can say that in my years of public life, that I welcome this kind of examination, because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got. President, Carrier. And I want to say this to the television audience. I made my mistakes. But in all of my years of public life, I have never profited from public service. I've earned every cent. And in all of my years of public life, I have never obstructed justice. And I think, too, that I can say that in my years of public life, that I welcome this kind of examination, because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got. President, Carrier. And I want to say this to the television audience. I made my mistakes. But in all of my years of public life, I have never profited from public service. I've earned every cent. And in all of my years of public life, I have never obstructed justice. And I think, too, that I can say that in my years of public life, that I welcome this kind of examination, because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got. President, Carrier. And I want to say this to the television audience. I made my mistakes. But in all of my years of public life, I have never profited from public service. I've earned every cent. And in all of my years of public life, I have never obstructed justice. And I think, too, that I can say that in my years of public life, that I welcome this kind of examination, because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got. President, Carrier. And I want to say this to the television audience. I made my mistakes. But in all of my years of public life, I have never profited from public service. I've earned every cent. And in all of my years of public life, I have never obstructed justice. And I think, too, that I can say that in my years of public life, that I welcome this kind of examination, because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got. President, Carrier. And I want to say this to the television audience. I made my mistakes. But in all of my years of public life, I have never profited from public service. I've earned every cent. And in all... And I want to say this to the television audience. I made my mistakes. But in all of my years of public life, I have never profited from public service. I've earned every cent. And in all of my years of public life, I have never obstructed justice. And I think, too, that I can say that in my years of public life, that I welcome this kind of examination, because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. a crook. I've earned everything I've got. I'm not a crook.
What up, Barry?
Can you make it make sense for me?
Make it make sense. What, you think some random guy on the internet's gonna make something make sense for you?
I don't know. I'm just baffled because my lived experiences and some of the people that I do know in my own life that I've talked to intermittently that work in politics and they work for other representatives or senators throughout the nation, from their own lived experience as well. Why? What the fuck is going on? It doesn't make any sense. How are all these polls coming out with Harris ahead? Like, not just by 1 point, but like 4, 5 points. Like, what is going on? It makes no sense. Either I live in a bubble because I live in Florida.
No, it's
I just
all
don't
it's all
understand.
fake news, man. It's a psyop.
I just don't get it. I know.
It was
I know.
the same thing with Hillary, but this time they're actually. I think the Electoral College is gonna choose Kamala.
I just don't. It's just so baffling to me, and it's just like so apparent. I mean, it's apparent. I look. I'm pretty much a moderate, but going to like passing by Trump's events, he lives here, right? Like, and he has events here all the time. Whether it's him or other people that represent him, the events are packed. And just my own experience, it's just wild to me. Even friends that are mine that are Democrats, they're all voting for Trump. It's nuts. I don't get what's going on. It makes no sense. None.
Well,
I don't know.
maybe Hermes can explain it. He's very in touch with the political situation.
It's just my own lived experience. So maybe I don't know. Whatever.
What's
Go
the
on.
question or what's the topic?
I don't know. Love. Go ahead.
He's in disbelief because the fake news keeps saying Kamala's 5 points ahead, 4 points ahead.
Oh yeah, here's what I see. I see the opposite. I see a lot of Republicans, especially after the rally when he called out the Puerto Ricans. A lot of the Latinos that were going to be Republican, and a lot of the other groups, right, that were Republican, switched. They jumped ship when he did that. That was like the straw that broke the camel's back. And they were jumping ship prior to that, but that really solidified it for a lot of people. So I think it's going to be close, but I think Kamala is definitely going to win.
I don't know. Maybe it's cognitive dissonance at my end. I don't know.
You're also in Florida, so you may have
Yeah,
like a bubble
I know.
bias.
I do probably have a bubble bias. Look, I'm biracial, as initially, as you know, and I have family members
The fuck is a
on the left,
Michelin?
on the Latin side that are voting for Trump. My mother's friends, they're voting for Trump. It just doesn't. Maybe it's the bubble that I live in. It just makes sense that I just don't get how. I don't know, man. It just doesn't make any sense at all to me. And I'm like fairly modern, and I can see through things, and I'm pretty intuitive with the world around me. But I just don't get what the fuck's going on. Either they have some formula, set variables in these polls, and they're all skewing to Harris. Maybe it's for publicity, like you said, big media. This is a big sham. I don't know. I feel like it's just a bigger. I cannot believe the rest of the nation is for Harris. She's just. I don't know.
Well, one thing for sure is if Trump wins, if we allow him to win,
years of
I'm not
public
concerned about
life,
international
I have
issues.
never
I'm concerned about
profited,
the nation.
never profited from public service. I've earned every cent. And in all of my years of public life,
That's
I have never obstructed justice. And I think, too, that I can say that in my years of public life, that I welcome this kind of examination because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got. Crook. I have never profited. I've earned every cent. I welcome this kind of examination because people have got to know whether or not their presidents, I don't say this to the television audience. I made my mistakes, but in all of my years of public life, I have never profited from public service. I've earned every cent. In all of my years of public life, I have never obstructed justice. And I think, too, that I can say that in my years of public life, that I welcome this kind of examination because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
Every single day we live on this planet, we can choose what sort of impact to make.
To me, I think it has so much more meaning, the jewelry, when you know how deliberate the sourcing was, how careful.
The sourcing. We were so careful in the sourcing. Oh, it's the angel of Jew hate. The neo-Nazi herself. Straight out of northern Afghanistan in Berlin, Adolf Hitler's dream queen, Angela!
Soviets themselves may in a limited way be coming to understand the importance of freedom. We hear much from Moscow about a new policy of reform and openness. Some political prisoners have been released. Certain foreign news broadcasts are no longer being jammed. Some economic enterprises have been permitted to operate with greater freedom from state control. Are these the beginnings of profound changes in the Soviet state? Or are they token gestures intended to raise false hopes in the West or to strengthen the Soviet system without changing it? We welcome change and openness, for we believe that freedom and security go together. That the advance of human liberty can only strengthen the cause of world peace. There is one sign the Soviets can make that would be unmistakable. That would advance dramatically the cause of freedom and peace. General Secretary Gorbachev, if you seek peace, if you seek prosperity for the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe, if you seek liberalization, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Tear down this wall. Vast system of barriers that divides the entire continent of Europe. From the Baltic south, those barriers cut across Germany in a gash of barbed wire, concrete, dog runs, and guard towers. Tear down this wall. Tear down this
I'm really afraid of announcing this because I feel I'm going to get a lot of hate from the entire self-help industry and the productivity industry. I'm a former physicist and computer engineer. What I did was I studied the 100 greatest books on productivity and time management and figured out the essence of all of those and compressed all of that into a simple 9-second external forcing function trigger that literally doubles your productivity with zero extra effort on your part. And it has literally helped thousands of other high achievers double, triple, and even quadruple their productivity in as little as 9 seconds.
I have ADHD. So yeah, literally because of Focus Blocks, last 2.5 weeks of just starting off with Focus Blocks, I got 3 months of work done, like what I would get done prior. And it wasn't stressful, it was easy. That's the craziest part. It was super easy.
I've fairly doubled my productivity by using Focus Blocks. Before I would get some stuff done, but not the important stuff done on time. And I would feel bad in the evenings. So now with Focus Blocks, I do stuff on time. At the end of the day, I feel awesome about it.
And because this is an external trigger, it requires no extra effort on your part. It works on you. You don't have to put in any mental effort to make it work for you. No need for willpower or motivation or discipline or habits or routines or rituals or anything like that.
It's triple my output, my productivity, my sales and marketing efforts, especially the stuff that's hard. I'm doing more work with ease and calmness and being able to be really, really productive without the extra effort or stress. It feels like it's fun. Actually,
I have a free masterclass where I show you exactly what this 9-second trigger is, how it works, why it works in just 9 seconds, and why it works consistently every single time you use it. So go ahead and click somewhere on this video to go watch this masterclass right now. In fact, I will show you everything, exactly how this 9-second trigger works, so you can choose to either implement it yourself or you can have us implement it for you for a very small fee. I explain it all in the masterclass. Now, don't put off watching this masterclass till later because you may never see this video again. Go watch it right now. If you don't want to wait till retirement to finally live that rich, meaningful life you've been always wanting to live, now is the time to go watch the masterclass so that we can help you get your work done in half the time it normally takes you. So go ahead and click somewhere on this video to go watch this masterclass right now.
I saw war, I saw bombing, I saw shooting.
For millions of children, war means displacement, danger, hunger, and fear. Your donation can help families affected by war with food, essentials, and medical care. In war, it's children who suffer the most. Help them today.
But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why, 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? Why does Rice play Texas? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things. Not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we will
I wish you were here.
say the moon. Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? But why, some say the moon. Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? Why does Rice play Texas? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things. Not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? Why does Rice play Texas? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things. Not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we A giant rocket, more than 300 feet tall, the length of this football field, made of new metal alloys, some of which have not yet been invented, capable of standing heat and stresses on an untried mission, unknown celestial body. And do all this, and do all this, and do it right, and do it first, before this decade is out, and we must be all We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. But why, some say the moon. Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? Why does Rice play Texas? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things. Not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we will some of which have not yet been invented, capable of standing heat and stresses on an untried mission, an unknown celestial body, and do all this, and do all this, and do it right, and do it first, before this decade is out, and we must be home. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon.
Dude, no, he wants to know who Crowley is. Tell me, love.
I didn't ask who Crowley is. I'm not asking that now. You said you knew, so I went on to the next question.
No, I mean, but Love actually is one of the people that taught me who a lot of things that I didn't know what he was about. You want to go
You said Love?
specifics,
Who's Love?
but the one in the room right now, and like you want to talk about, Crowley. That's the one you want to talk to.
Okay, right.
Like, go ahead, talk.
No, I just, okay. Well, no, whoever. It's just we're having a conversation. I'm saying your
Well,
last
you want to
title.
run your cocksucker, but run it to the right person.
Well, that's what you do, sir. I don't do that. I don't talk gay. I don't do no gay stuff. Do you do gay stuff?
I don't think that's what that means, sir.
Okay, what does that mean?
That is basically just like saying run your mouth, run your lips, talk.
So what is sucking cock? What does that mean, sir?
I mean, singular, sucking cock is sucking cock, but when you say
What does that mean, sucking cock?
Hey, I mean, it's the chicken in the head that shoved his face first.
Some of us think words literal, so that's the reason why.
Okay, let me ask a question. Let me ask a question to the last title. And then let me move on to P. Diddy, Aleister Crowley, and Kamala, and MK Ultra Mind Control. First question,
Is it
who's the wicked
Kamala?
man?
Kamala.
Her name is Kamala. She's Indian.
Okay.
That's how you say her name. And if you ever heard her, which I know you probably don't remember or you can attest to, have you ever heard her say her name? Yes or no?
Yeah, we all know who Camel Toe is. Nobody gives a shit.
No, I'm asking you, did you ever? Okay, so since you said you heard her say her name, how does she pronounce her name?
Michael, fix your mic if you can, or make the attempt.
Okay, how does she pronounce her name? Anybody? Since you said you heard her, she doesn't pronounce her name like that. She says Harris. Man, you guys can't even be truthful. Now I'm asking you. Okay, let me ask you a question. The most wickedest man, I'll say the most wickedest men on Clubhouse, right? Remember the guy that's, remember the guy that sold out and set up Fred Hampton. Remember Fred Hampton, 21-year-old in Chicago?
No.
There was a black FBI agent, right, working for COINTELPRO.
What's that?
That set him up to get killed. So my answer to your question is the men on Clubhouse that's working for COINTELPRO to try to stop the rise of a black messiah and true freedom and real justice of all black people are worse than him that set up Fred Hampton.
They're not worse than him. But I want to know, what was your problem with Crowley? What was your problem with Crowley? Because you're digressing. You're moving the goalpost because...
I'm not digressing. I'm not moving the goalposts at all. Look at the title of the room, sir.
You're digressing, sir.
I'm not digressing.
Talk about you.
The title of your room is talking about who is the wickedest men. So I just named the most wickedest men on Clubhouse is guys that sit up and get paid. If you get paid, sir.
Please make a point about it. You brought it up like
if you get paid to be on Clubhouse all day.
Crowley,
right?
You're talking about.
Right,
though. Stop one of your
for a second. You're the most wickedest men on Clubhouse. Now, the reason why I mentioned Aleister Crowley.
You got 2 ears and one mouth. You talk
go have a drink and pass out. Have a drink and pass out, bro. Have a drink and pass out.
You wish I was drinking.
Have a drink and pass out. Have a drink and pass out.
Like, be smart.
Have a drink. Have a drink and pass out.
Drinking.
You've been talking. You've been talking. I just started talking. You've been running your mouth talking about nothing. Talking about how you got 60 beers in the refrigerator. Have a drink and pass out. Now, you talked about the wickedest men, right? The wickedest man, it was Aleister Crowley who said he wanted to be the most wickedest man on earth and renamed himself 666. And the celebrities look up to him, and P. Diddy's party is an outworking of Aleister Crowley.
But 666 is a positive number. How that work? Damn, the silence is real loud.
Is 999.
That shit crazy, ain't it? I just broke that whole shit down.
I'll stick it down with 777.
Yeah, so do you get paid to be on Clubhouse? You said you broke something down. Yeah, so you one of the most wickedest men on Clubhouse.
What's wrong with that?
To answer to your title.
I know that.
Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
Wicked, nigga. I told
Wicked
you.
is badass, man. I want to be wicked. I'm wicked.
Man, you feel me? Like that movie Wicked? Like, yeah.
I want to see Wicked on Broadway.
Yeah, keep that same energy and judgment soon. Because we're on the brink of world. Yeah, we're on the brink. All right, reality time. We are on the brink of World War III nuclear war destruction of America. Reality soon. So keep that same energy, bruh. Yeah, keep that same energy.
Bro, we're already in World War III. You're an idiot if you don't realize that.
I want to put my boy Mister against you. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be my attorney today. He's gonna go against you on this. Go ahead, whoop his ass, Masanda.
Well, Masanda's anti-American, so.
My point, he's gonna
Masicati somebody.
Well, I have the Book of the Law by Aleister Crowley. I can read to you what the wickedest man in the world wrote.
I can tell you what I wrote, bro. It's clearly me, bro. I'm telling you.
I don't want to hear nothing from Aleister Crowley, sir.
Actually, I want to hear it.
Okay, this is Aleister Crowley. Abrahadabra, the reward of Ra-Horkut. There is division hither homeward. There is a word not known. Spelling is defunct. All is not aught. Beware! Hold! Raise the spell of Ra-Horkut! Now let it be first understood that I am a god of war and of vengeance. I shall deal hardly with them. Choose ye an island, fortify it, dung it about with enginery of war. I will give you a war engine. With it ye shall smite the peoples, and none shall stand before you. Lurk, withdraw upon them. This is the law of the battle of conquest. Thus shall my worship be about my secret house. Get the stele of revealing itself, set it in thy secret temple, and that temple is already aright disposed, and it shall be your Qibla forever. It shall not fade, but miraculous color shall come back to it day after day. Close it in locked glass for a proof to the world. This shall be your only proof. I forbid argument. Conquer. That is enough. I will make it easy to you the obstruction from the ill-ordered house in the victorious city. Thou shalt thyself convey it with worship, O prophet. Though thou likest it not, thou shalt have danger and trouble on Clown House. Ra-Horkut is with thee. Worship me with fire and blood. Worship me with swords and spears. Let the woman be girt with a sword before me. Let blood flow to my name. Trample down the heathen. Be upon them, O warrior. I will give you of their flesh to eat. Sacrifice cattle, little and big after a child, but not now. You shall see that hour, O blessed beast, and thou the scarlet concubine Kamala Harris of his desire. Ye shall be sad thereof. Deem not too eagerly to catch the promises. Fear not to undergo the curses. Ye, even ye, know not this meaning at all. Fear not at all. Fear neither men, nor fates, nor gods, nor anything on Clown House. Money fear not, nor laughter of the folk folly, nor any other power in heaven or upon the earth or under the earth.
No, that's it, man. What the fuck? All right, we got it.
Yeah, no, that was, he started out with literally Crowley, but, you know, he likes to freestyle.
I can see, yeah. Once I started realizing you were freestyling, I'm like, wait, what the fuck?
Actually, one of the most intellectual people you'll ever meet on Clown House. But, I mean, you gotta take it with a grain of salt, you know, you have to.
Michael said that guy was the inspiration for the Diddy parties.
Probably.
What? Yeah, I'm sure Diddy was thinking, ooh,
dude, he invited me to a sailboat, so I don't know.
Yeah, y'all sound real ignorant. I asked the question, did you know that Aleister Crowley was like a guru to the celebrities? That's why you have Jay-Z, which is Jesus in patois. That's how you had say Jesus in patois. Jay-Z wears a black hoodie. Yes, he wears the black hoodie with the quote from Aleister Crowley, "Do what thou wilt," across it. And if you use your smartphone, smarten up, type in Beyonce space
Baphomet.
Yes, Baphomet. which is what Aleister Crowley promoted, and you'll see that that's what they promote. So
we're not.
The Beatles. You name any legendary group, the Beatles, the Doors, any major rock band. They all worship Aleister Crowley.
Michael, if you notice,
But because we know who the goat god is, doesn't mean we follow along with it.
walk forward.
Okay. So did you know that the celebrities look up to Aleister Crowley? Yes or no? Was the question. Okay, so if it's yes, why would you laugh and say?
You ask a question. You don't wait for an answer. You ask a question. You don't wait for an answer. You ask a question. You don't wait for an answer.
You said yes. That was the answer. You said yes.
I did not. I said
You said yes.
I said.
Okay. Yes.
I'm still trying to say.
You said
I'm still trying to say
yes.
my answer. Still trying to.
Yo, let him say his answer.
That was like a laugh.
Does a pig fart after a bowl of beans?
Oh, what the fuck? That was your answer? Jesus Christ.
Pure nonsense.
Well, the question was is that why did you laugh if you know that these people follow this man? Why did you laugh?
Who was laughing?
The ones that were laughing, they know who they are.
Michael's question. That was Michael's question.
Oh, I wasn't laughing. I just said, hey, he's up off the Beatles.
Don't forget that at that party you not only had freaks and homos, right? You also had children. You had children and animals. So you got sex trafficking, you got satanic rituals and murders. And that's what Aleister Crowley was into. And your girl Kamala, that's how you say her name. Check out.
Thank you for saying it right, Michael. Wow, I appreciate
you saying camel toe correctly.
Research the history of her mother. Her mother worked for the MK MK Ultra Mind Control, specializing in torturing children, right? For the adrenochrome, because that's when the blood is harvested at the highest. I'm talking about child sacrifice. That's what I'm talking about. So what you got to say? So what you got to say that's most? What do you have to? So what do any of you got to say that's more important right now? Go ahead. I'm going to be.
I think you're
the adrenal gland is a part of the endocrine system.
Adrenochrome, say it right.
And you'll get the thing you're talking about from the pituitary gland, but you'd have to put a needle through the top of the mouth and the soft palate in order to be able to access the skull at that level. In order to be able to extract it, but I mean, maybe you were abducted by aliens. I don't know.
We've been able to make this synthetically for years, but I'm curious, Michael, what do you think you accomplished by bringing this up? What change do you want to bring about by making this front and center?
I think his heart is in a good place. You're talking about Michael, right?
Pardon me, were you talking to me, sir?
I agree that, I was Michael, and I agree with us. That's why I asked the question.
You said you agree with what, sir? What I said?
No, Willis was saying that he thinks you want to bring this up.
No, you said you agree. What are you talking? I'm trying to understand you, sir. You said you agree with what?
I was trying to answer. I agree with what Willis said. Willis had said that he believes that the reason you bring this up is it comes from a good place. It comes from a good place in you. And my question to him was, by bringing this up, why do you think it's important, and what would you like to accomplish by making people?
So you believe him. Why you believe him?
Bro, if you don't answer the right question, bro, goddamn.
Yeah. Why you believe him?
He's talking to you.
I'm just trying to. You guys laugh. You guys laugh. So far, I heard you laugh at the truth, and then I heard somebody come off with pure nonsense, and now you're focusing questions on me. Is it true what I'm saying, or is it false? Which one?
We can't ask you questions, but you can ask us.
Is it true what I'm saying, or is it false?
It could be both. Yes, no, a lot of this shit.
Oh, okay, it could be false. Why do you say it could be false, sir?
Michael, a lot of the shit that you're saying could be false, man. Where do you want me to begin?
Okay, yeah, you can begin. Okay. Just listen. Just begin and start lying. I'm going on mute.
All right, let's start with you.
No, it's some small local nail salon doesn't comply.
Did I lie?
No, some small local nail salon that doesn't comply with the tax codes.
You ain't proved nothing. For one, so all that could possibly be a lie from the beginning.
What do you mean prove? Hold on. What do you mean? Okay, you said I didn't prove anything. What do you mean I didn't prove it?
Where the proof at? You just told us words.
I gave it to you. I told you, look. I told you to take out. Look, take a break from your doggone emotional mouth. Take your smartphone out. Take your smartphone out. Oh my God. All right, I'm talking to one man and another man come off his mic. Now take your smartphone out.
At least you call me a man.
Okay, you asked. Oh my goodness, why are you talking? Go drink a beer. Now you asked me a question, right? Take out your phone, right, and type in Jay-Z and Do What Thou Wilt, and then hit images. No, put in Jay-Z, Aleister Crowley, and Do What Thou Wilt. And listen, bro, you asked me for proof. Now you're running. Type in your phone, and because I want you to tell us, what you see on your phone. I don't control Google. Type in Aleister Crowley and Jay-Z and Do What Thou Wilt, and hit images, and man up and say it with your chest and tell me what images come on your phone. And don't bitch out. Don't bitch out. Don't bitch out. Man up. Man up.
How about this?
Man up.
How about
this? You won't do it.
Bro, how about this? Look up Jay-Z and R. Kelly. And the song is called Fiesta, and it's them on Epstein Island with a bunch of underage women.
So, Michael, again, I'm just curious. Like, what do you hope to accomplish by?
Gotcha, bitch.
Don't be curious. That's what I'm saying, true or false. Be curious about that.
I'm sorry.
No. Okay, sir. Listen.
Hey, don't talk over Jeremy, all right? We'll pause like, no, I won't. I'll have to throw
Jeremy. Yeah, Jeremy. Is what I'm saying true or false? Worry about that. Yes or no? Is it true or false?
I based on my initial searching around, I don't find any suggestion that these are.
Oh, so you don't know enough to comment?
Ain't that what he just said, boy?
No, I can't hear him, and you the girl. Now, Jeremy, since you're not, hold on, Jeremy, you don't know anything. You're ignorant, right? You haven't studied it. Right, you don't know. Let me talk to Jeremy. Okay. When two men are talking, right, other men are quiet. That's what your elders should have told you. Now, Jeremy, I know you were raised by a single woman. Yeah. Now, Jeremy, since you're
not too much on the single women.
Can we go 1-1, Michael?
Single mother, same thing. Now, Jeremy, if you're not up on the subject, right? Yeah, I suggest that it won't take long, Jeremy. A few hours, and you can use your
Do you think
Google.
he needs a hug from a woman? Because, like, he has mommy issues.
No, I don't have any mommy issues, sir. You need to go drink another beer. You got 60 beers in your refrigerator, so you don't need to be talking about nobody.
Actually,
Yeah, you don't need to be talking about nobody. That's a problem, bro. That's a problem. 60 beers in your refrigerator is a problem. You don't need to be talking to nobody.
It's 55.
Yeah, you don't need to be talking to nobody, sir. Yeah, you need to be running to AA somewhere. Yeah, that part.
Why you say that part? That's like a girl thing.
Bro, AA is for quitters. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, I went to AA, but now I just drink under a different name.
Michael, do you say period?
He's called. He thinks this is the complaint line.
Being so unagreeable.
He thinks this is the complaint line. 1-800-Clubhouse Complaints. Michael, you need to try green eggs and ham, sir. You might like it. Sam, I am. Vote Trump, fatties! Vote, go to the gym, fatty! Mercy let be off, damn them who pity. Kill and torture, spare not be upon them. That steady they call the abomination of desolation, Kamala Harris. Count well its name, and it shall be to you as 718. Why? Because of the fall of because, that he is not there again. Set up my image in the east. Thou shalt buy thee an image which I will show thee, a special not unlike the one thou knowest, and it shall be suddenly easy for thee to do this. The other images group around me to support me. Let all be worshipped, for they shall cluster to exalt me. I am the visible object of worship. The others are secret, for the beast Kamala and his bride Trump are they. And for the winners of the Ordeal X, what is this? Thou shalt know. For perfume mix meal and honey and thick leavings of red wine, then oil of abramelon, and olive oil, and afterward. Well, Lord, you listen to Michael talk for 30 minutes about fucking nothing. I read a book and you cut me off? You want to go to the 1-800 complaint line? Call the 1-800 complaint line. Nobody cares what the fuck you got to say. Call 1-800-complaintline.com. Submit the grievance.
Ain't nobody worried about you now. Yeah, prove it I'm wrong. Okay, prove that guys don't sit up on Clubhouse all day getting money from making money. They get paid to be on Clubhouse. Prove that I'm lying.
Oh, some
prove that
some
I'm
small
lying.
looking mouse on it doesn't comply with text.
And fix your internet.
You think people are getting paid to be
I
here?
mean, if you get paid, maybe you need to learn.
There's some small local mouse on it doesn't comply with
Okay,
text.
so you're telling me, okay, all right, watch this, watch this. Watch these liars, y'all. Swear on your life that, swear on your life.
I'm not swearing. I'm not
Swear
swearing.
on my life. I mean,
Yeah, swear on your life. If you're lying, that keeps you honest. You know?
If you swear to get some better internet,
Because you guys lie all the time, right? Proving that you're the most wickedest men on Clubhouse.
You think there's double agents in here? Like we're hired by Clubhouse to watch.
Why you on Clubhouse every day?
hold on. Wickedest man on Clubhouse.
You can't understand.
Riches for what?
Because ain't no grown man with family, with children, and business gonna be on Clubhouse all day unless they getting paid.
Wait, so Michael, you're none of those? So you're not a man?
You work in shifts.
Wait, so you're not any of those things that you
Beauty and strength, leaping laughter and delicious languor, force and fire are of us.
So stop it.
We have nothing with the outcast and the unfit. Let them die in their misery, for they feel not. Compassion is the vice of kings. Stamp down the wretched and the weak like Michael. This is the law of the strong. This is our law.
Everybody that
some shit. They work for the game for real. Them kids don't be lying when they be like, I know somebody that work at Epic. Does that mean
Okay,
they
can you stay on topic? Let's talk about Clubhouse.
No, that is on top.